tried to find Ashley on the trail. Here comes Ball.
LaMelo Ball, the son of LaVar Ball, became famous for being one of the top high school basketball players in his age group, with offers from prestigious schools like UCLA and Duke. But who exactly is LaMelo Ball? Here are the things you didn't know about him. You won't believe what he did to the place where his mother works. At just 19 years old, LaMelo Ball has had an intriguing start to his career. After early success as a high school freshman, including a state championship in California with his brothers Lonzo and LiAngelo on the team, LaMelo Ball headed overseas. In January of 2018, LaMelo Ball made his professional debut with Pranai of the Lithuanian Basketball League. During his 4 months in Lithuania, LaMelo Ball averaged 6.5 points and 2.4 assists in 12.4 minutes per game. But despite this, his father pulled him out of the league due to his lack of playtime. A few months later, Ball made his second professional league debut with the LA Ballers of the Junior Basketball Association, a league founded by his father as an alternative to college basketball. In 8 games, he averaged a triple-double with 39.6 points, 14.6 rebounds, and 11.5 assists. After the end of JBA, the young man entered the Ohio Spire Institute and later the UCLA, as did his brothers. But it was not clear if he was able to play college basketball due to his results at the Spire Institute, and the possibility came for him to play in another professional league, this time around in Australia. This brings us to another point that you didn't know. LaMelo Ball returned to high school basketball for a brief time during his senior year before he once again headed overseas. With Illawarra Hawks of the National Basketball League, Ball averaged 17 points, 7.4 rebounds, and 6.8 assists per game. He was named the NBL Rookie of the Year. In June 2019, LaMelo signed a 2-year contract with Illawarra Hawks, the Australian Basketball League team. He ended up there through the NBL Next Star program, an athletic development program that hires foreign athletes and offers the best chance of being drafted into the NBA. Do you understand the game plan? Well, he moved there with his Spire trainer, Jermaine Jackson, who became his agent. Melo played well during his only season in Australia. His campaign ended early due to a foot injury, so he decided to leave the team to prepare for the NBA 2020 draft. While in the NBL, was named the newcomer of the year of the league, averaging 17 points per game, 7.4 rebounds per game, and 6.8 assists per game. You probably also didn't know that LaMelo Ball has been considered one of the top picks in the 2020 NBA draft, despite having never played a minute of college basketball. LaMelo Ball once again followed another very non-traditional path.
I just think it's the best route for me. I'm trying to be the #1 pick for the 2020 draft.
A possible #1 overall pick in the 2020 NBA draft who skipped college to play in the Australian Basketball League. He became the new co-owner of the Illawarra Hawks, the team he played for 1 season. And it was at that moment that his life changed. He went into business, and his contract with Puma says it all. Because he did not only walk away with $100 million, but he also got unlimited access to Puma's private jet worth $14 million. And our boy Melo deserves it. Actually, you definitely didn't know that. But you'll definitely be even more shocked with what is next. 17 is an average age to go into college. But if we told you that LaMelo was there at only 13, would you believe it? But don't worry, he was there for other reasons.
Where do you want to see yourself grow as a player between now and when you reach campus in 2019?
Just to get stronger, because at the next levels it gets more aggressive and stronger.
Actually, LaMelo was so good at basketball that he committed to UCLA, one of the top basketball universities in the country, at only 13 years old. He was literally in middle school. But kids are full of surprises. Another thing you probably didn't know about LaMelo is that he began shooting an NBA-sized hoop while still in diapers. Well, at 3 years old, he was already doing drills on 10-foot baskets.
Tell me about what age and some of the drills you did and when you knew that basketball meant everything.
Really, when I was like 3, playing on like a 10-foot hoop.
You
said drills and stuff. Yeah, we really didn't do drills.
You said 3 years old?
So just imagine a 3-year-old who can not only lift a basketball, but can shoot it into a 10-foot basket. Impressive, right? But not as impressive as the next one. Did you know LaMelo has already broken 3 different professional basketball records? Not only is he the youngest player to win the NBA Rookie of the Year, but he's also the youngest to score a triple-double in the NBA and ABL, the Australian Professional Basketball League. But that's not the best thing LaMelo has done in Australia. Well, you may not know that he helped the entire country survive one of the biggest disasters in the world. During the 2020 fires in Australia, when thousands of families were losing their homes and lives, LaMelo donated 1 month of his NBA salary, or more than $100,000, to the fire victims, saying, "My parents taught me to help wherever I could, so this is my way of helping." And when it comes to caring for people in need, LaMelo was just getting started because a year later, LaMelo donated 500 blankets to the Salvation Army, homeless people, and fire victims in Charlotte.
Thank you, LaMelo, for all of the blankets to keep the homeless warm.
This man LaMelo is a hero. This brings us to the next point that will blow your mind yet again. You may not have known it, but LaMelo has starred in the commercials for many different superhero movies, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and Black Widow. Alright, let's be honest, LaMelo grew up in front of the cameras, so we should have seen his acting career coming. And who says actor says a great name. Yet, what is amazing is that LaMelo Ball literally has the worst middle name in NBA history. You didn't know that, right? Well, his parents made the middle name of Lonzo Anderson, then LiAngelo Robert. But then it was his time. They called him LaFrance. But it turns out LaMelo liked the name so much that in 2020, he launched an exclusive clothing line called LaFrance. But that wasn't his first step into the fashion industry, because you may have known that LaMelo is the youngest athlete to have his own shoe. But did you know that it almost got him sued? In 2017, after LaMelo dropped his MB1 shoe brand, a Canadian yoga studio accused him of stealing their company logo. Now what follows again will shock you. Well, what if we told you that there was a fourth LaMelo Ball brother that you didn't know about? And he played on the historic Chino Hills High School team with Lonzo, LiAngelo, and LaMelo. Yes, this is one and only Andre Ball. Actually, Andre is LaMelo's cousin, and for years his basketball dreams were tied to his cousins and his uncle with the same name. Dre has been classmates with LiAngelo since kindergarten. He played alongside his older cousin Lonzo since they were kids. Dre trained with LaVar, who taught him the Big Baller method. This explains his talent, but it's still crazy to have 4 members of the Ball family on the same high school team. But not so crazy is the next fact coming up. LaMelo became the youngest American to play professional basketball. When you see someone playing in the pros, you might think they're making millions of dollars. But did you know that LaMelo's first contract with Prienų Vytautas in Lithuania only paid him $500 a month? Yes, that's right, only $500. He could have earned so much more than that delivering pizzas. But nowadays, money is not an issue for LaMelo. He's just trying to give back to the community. And talking about giving back to the community, the next point will literally change the way you see him. You may not have heard that LaMelo has created his own basketball school, the One of One Prep Academy. This academy helps area student athletes play against top competition while preparing them for life on and off the court after the academy. And at the school, kids not only get to meet LaMelo, but also learn everything it takes to make it in the NBA. That alone is a great way for LaMelo to give back to the youth. Another thing you didn't know about LaMelo Ball is that he has taken his kindness to a whole new level. In 2020, LaMelo decided to surprise his mother with the ultimate birthday gift. So he took her to visit the Vernon Middle School, a school where she taught, and did something special for the students in honor of his mom.
I got 100 yellow brick scholarships for Vernon Middle School that we're gonna be giving out on behalf of my mama.
He gave 100 scholarships to the Vineyard Middle School in his mother's name. Now what about his professional life? Did you know LaMelo Ball was not supposed to wear the number 2?
Promise you. If I see a 2 though, I don't know what I'm gonna do for real. I ain't gonna lie to you.
In fact, since he was recruited, he always insisted that he wanted to wear number 1. When he was drafted, Malik Monk wore number 1 and was not willing to trade numbers. For the 2021 through 2022 season, Ball missed the deadlines to change numbers and was forced to wear number 2 for a second consecutive season. But LaMelo made it clear in an exit interview after Charlotte's loss to Atlanta in the play-in game that he will be back to his beloved number 1 next season. Which of these things did you not know about LaMelo Ball, and what impressed you the most? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.